show here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will be moving on to the representative of the Green Party. You may go ahead.
We've come through tough times. Now there is a choice to be made. You can choose Oscar or Rachel, who will stall progress and deliver the chaotic plan for Ireland, or you can stick with the Green Party and our plan that is working. We will increase employment levels so more people are actually contributing to Ireland. We will offer opportunities to those creating crisis within our immigration system and deliver our New Deal for new citizens.
Thank you. We will also be now moving to the representative of the Social Democrats. You may start.
Thank you. Throughout the past term, we have witnessed chaos and division from both the Green Party and Fianna Fáil. And now tonight, we come here to debate and to show you what our plans are for the future of this country. As mentioned, you can either choose a Green Party, which has been in government since the start of the term and has done absolutely nothing, despite what they're claiming to do. You can choose Fianna Fáil, who've also done the same, a lack of progress. Or you can choose the Social Democrats, who have committed themselves to a new vision for Ireland and for Ireland's renewal. You can choose us, or you can choose chaos and division. We are here tonight to present our vision. In our manifesto, it has been clear and well thought out, and that is why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Now we will be moving on to the actual questions. If this hasn't been said already, we have multiple categories of questions. We will start with domestic affairs, then we will move on to foreign affairs, the defense forces, and party-specific questions. Now let's get started with the domestic affairs. These questions are for every party representative, and you each get 60 seconds to answer. After that, you can discuss freely. The question is as follows. Currently, many see the Seanad as overcomplicated, and according to polls, it needs to change. What will your party be doing to make the Seanad effective again? We will let the Green Party leader start to answer. Again, 60 seconds. You may start now.
Well, I think the main thing is strong leadership. You need strong leadership no matter what, through and through. It needs to be diffused throughout all stratas. You know, what we've had disruption, we've had, chaos. But that was not really the Green Party's fault. You know, we have had, great individuals there, but it's all about strong leadership. You need strong leadership to build and diffuse through the system. You can only raise standards if you've got a strong leader. You know, I am the strong leader, but I am not the right fit for that particular aspect. But we have a strong individual who is ready to lead.
Thank you. We will be moving on to the representative of the Social Democrats. You may answer now.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I find it funny that they're talking about strong leadership when they've been in government since the start and have done absolutely nothing. So that is a blatant lie right there. But anyways, thank you, and you're Victoria, and you're quite right. The Seanad is overcomplicated and confusing, and it's that confusing that not even the clerks know how to operate it efficiently. And really, we can't really blame them. Attempts after attempts have been made in recent months in regards to reforming the Seanad, but as a party who is committed to the values of actions, not words, as we've been preaching in this campaign, the promises that we've made in regards to its reform, we will do. One of the primary issues that we have is parties don't really put enough attention into the Seanad, so to speak, and the Social Democrats have maintained the best attendance rate of quite frankly, any other party in Shannon. And if elected to government, that is a pattern we will seek to continue. I think we also need to note that the Shannon needs to be brought back to normality, so to speak, because as we may have seen, Americanizing these institutions in Ireland obviously does not work. And so if we are elected, we will use the Constitutional Convention to recommend reforms in terms of the Shannon, to remove, first of all, the two-class system, and make sure that the Shannon is elected alongside the TDs.
Thank you. I need to stop you there. Your time's up. No, you will get to... Wait, no, I forgot the Labour representatives. I'm sorry. You may answer no.
Well, I hope I get some extra time as well, because you blatantly allowed him to go on. So can I get some extra time as well? I take that as a yes. Well, thank you, Victoria. What I don't really understand out of this question, and what the Fianna Fáil and Green Party has been parroting all this time, is what is the issue with bicameralism? What is the issue with the fact that the Senate is there? It is complicated in its own way, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We need to have we need to have two chambers in our legislature. The Senate is a vital component in making sure that happens. They have their own rules. They can dictate how their own chamber works. That is the entire point of having two chambers. It's not us, like, it's not the lower chambers that's supposed to decide that. It's themselves that should decide that. And as I mean, if the Green Party for once actually said something worthwhile there, that it is leadership. You need a leader in the Senate that can actually organize stuff and change the rules if it's so complicated that no one can participate. But yes, thank you.
Thank you for that. Now, if you, we will be moving to the debate stage of this question, so you each get to attack and defend your policies within 60 seconds as well. So you may start now.
Well, I wanted to say, particular to the Green Party in regards to not being fit. I mean, you openly just said that you're not fit here for leadership, apparently. How does that tie in into you wanting to? Well, you occupy the second highest office in the government. Like, how are you going to continue in any sort of capacity in public office if you yourself don't think you're even capable of organizing the Senate? Could you answer that?
Well, I think, it's because of a certain individual, and that was the independent that was appointed by the president. What he's been doing, he's been delaying the sessions. It's not fair that he delays the sessions for a certain bill that he's not
But that is his right.
in favour of.
Why are you blaming other people when it's quite frankly your fault?
No.
You've been in government since the start, and you've
it's
basically done nothing. Why are you saying now that it's somebody else's fault?
They've been delaying bills, they've been causing chaos, and that's because of him. It's no one else. It's no one else.
Hold on, can I?
Here's what it is, right? The Green Party have no one else to blame because, quite frankly, it's their fault, and they're trying to make themselves look good. So now they're blaming other people in order to try and come off as really good people who have been halted back by the Shannon or whatnot. So that's what it is.
No, that's the truth.
And also,
it's the truth.
It's also funny to note that your attendance in the Shannon is actually been quite terrible. So I don't know why you're here preaching about the Shannon delaying bills and whatnot when you've not even been attending your own sessions in the Shannon. So yeah.
What's also noteworthy is the fact that all the bills that went through the Senate, well, most of them actually ended up not being assented to or being sent to the Supreme Court by that guy who just denied them. So I mean, he basically tried to save you guys from embarrassment, but it went through anyways, and it was either rejected or denied assent, or it was just sent to the Supreme Court. So I mean, do you guys even consider writing bills properly? Do you follow the format?
Right, I'm sorry, but I gave you another minute because I've been asked to do that since 1 minute is quite short. So Sorry for that, but the debate stage is now over, and we will be moving to the next question. Right, next question would be with the new border game with the UK released, it is essential that Garda maintains its activity whilst also ensuring they have adequate resources to do so. How would you assist them with this? The Labour representative may start. Your 60 seconds from now.
Thank you. We did raise this in the Dáil not so long ago with the Taoiseach, and he scoffed it off and didn't really care about it, protecting our public service and making sure that it expands. One of the primary things to do in order to do that is to guarantee the job security of people working there. People have their ambitions. They want to get into a position of responsibility. They want to get into a leadership role. People should have the right to have a ambition to get into certain roles without being iced and smashed on the head for having that ambition. That needs to be guaranteed, that people can actually stay and work in these sectors, in the public sector, without being bashed for it because they want to advance. Moreover, not only with the job security is paramount, but also coordination, working ministry to ministry, department to department, trying to get as many people as possible into. You didn't even put up a timer there, Victoria.
And that's your what?
All right.
That's your minute over. The representative of the Social Democrats may answer now. Your minute starts now.
Thank you very much. Well, quite. Is it the one about you asking about the Garda, or?
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please. I didn't fully understand it. It was probably my internet.
Okay, so the question was, with the new border game with the UK being released, it is essential that Garda maintains its activity whilst also ensuring they have adequate resources to do so. How would you assist them with this?
Well, thank you very much. So, Garda is an essential part of our nation and also an essential agency in the Social Democrats' plan to integrate Ireland into one big community, so to speak. We would enhance Garda stop and search powers to ensure that they can perform their duties effectively, whilst also maintaining community safety, especially in light of the ongoing warfare environment of that border game. Along with these changes, we'd also introduce radical reform to the Garda Inspectorate and appoint a new inspector to serve as a watchdog for Garda and also provide logistical support to the commissioner wherever it's needed. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. And now we're moving to the Green Party representative. Your minute starts now.
Well, I think the main thing we have to do is recruitment. We can't have, as the Social Democrats were saying, stop and search powers if there's no one stopping and searching. We need people in the jobs, and that starts by opening opportunities from all levels, from leadership. And if we create this group that are active, they are committed, and they maintain high standards, activity and growth and engagement will just flourish. I think the way that they can recruit more is social media engagement would significantly contribute. I know in the United Kingdom they do the same for the Met Police and the Royal Military Police. If we had something like that in Ireland, it would be so much smoother. Operations would be 10 times better.
And that's your minute up. I'm sorry. We will now be moving to the debate stage. You can attack and defend your policies once again. You will be given 2 minutes this time. If the discussion is very productive, you will get more time, but we'll see about that. You can start now.
I just thought it was pretty hilarious hearing the Green Party talking about the border when they were the ones going down to London and doffing their lids to the British establishment when they had the chance. So I'm just very curious. Are they gonna let the British in with the border, or how is that gonna work?
Well, if we are working together, it creates community engagement. I think we need to put what was in the past, and make amends. I don't know why you would be
The
against.
past was less than a month ago.
I don't know why you would be against, growth and engagement. It's just
You're
crazy.
talking about growth and engagement, right? But you've teamed up with a party that repealed important legislation for the Garda to actually do its job. So why are you now speaking here and saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this and that," when you actually support the party that stripped Garda of the legislation that allowed them to do their job effectively? Can you answer
also
that?
passed, actually, you actually sponsored a bill by one of your deputies that was basically, it was rejected in the end. It was by the president because it was poorly formatted. The person who wrote the bill said he or she went to you for advice in regards to the bill, and you greenlit it. So that's just a pure incompetence there. But that bill was attacking the public service, basically telling them that they cannot arrest members of the DAL as if we're not some mere moral politicians, that we're supposed to be above the law. That is what that bill said, and it was rejected by the president and thrown out. So I mean, every single chance you've gotten, you've attacked the public service, you've iced them in every single way. So now you come in here and act like you have some sort of virtue. What virtue do you hold in this question, Green Party?
Well, I actually encouraged my deputy to propose meaningful legislation. I didn't.
So where was that meaningful legislation then? Because I didn't see it. I don't think anyone saw it in the Doyle. Did you, William? Because I didn't see it.
No, I definitely didn't.
Properly.
Maybe if Tweedledum and Tweedledee shut up for a moment and actually let me answer. Yeah.
What's wrong? You got mad because we just exposed you to the truth.
What we're facing is the Social Democrats and the Labour Party are the same party just in a different font, and that's why they're attacking little old me because they're afraid.
You've been in government since the start of the term, and you're now speaking.
This is mansplaining. This is Project Fear, and this is scaremongering for the Irish people. He's trying to cause the division. He's actually attacking with the other guy to cause chaos. That's what they're doing. They're not answering the question, or they're attacking me. All they are doing is causing chaos.
Chaos. You've been in government since the start. So if anyone's causing chaos and division, it's you.
We were left with a pretty horrible situation.
I don't think this is going to lead anywhere. We will be moving on to the next question and to next section of the debate, actually, which would be foreign affairs. The first question here would be, what will you do regarding a fair and secure border with the UK? I will let the Green Party representative start. Your 60 seconds start now.
Well, unlike the other two parties, they clearly don't want a relationship. I will openly say that we need a strong relationship. I'm the perfect candidate to build this strong relationship with the United Kingdom. I served in the United Kingdom for many months in the cabinet, and I saw
dreamland are you living in? What dreamland are you living in?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, please do not interrupt other representatives while they're answering their questions. This is not the debate stage.
That man has no manners, he has no plan, and he's crazy. But as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we need to amend any broken relationships, and that's globally as well. I know other parties are very much against, we were the proudest party to support Gibraltar joining the United Nations. Other parties were not. They tried to censor me for my views after one of my deputies asked a question. It just shows how they're not willing to cooperate with the global countries around us. And, it's crazy. What are they saying? They are literally sugarcoating their opinions that are closed-minded and not looking to progress Ireland.
All right, that's your minute up. We will move on to the Labour representative now. Your minute starts now.
Thank you. If you could pass a Valium to the Green Party leader, that would be very helpful, I think. In terms of the border, working with the United Kingdom, I think that first and foremost, we need to recover all 32 counties of Ireland. That is our number one priority as a government in foreign affairs, but also to defend our current sovereignty and our current borders. So of course we're going to talk to the United Kingdom, but we're not going to hold their hands. We're not going to pose with them outside of Downing Street, basically asking for another Irish Free State to be enacted. I mean, we are not giving up the sovereignty or the freedom of this community. We surmounted the fact that we were an Irish Free State for the longest time. We had British governors in this place, and now we are free. We're not giving that up anytime soon. So of course we're going to remember that. It's not distant in our memory, of course. Foreign affair wise, we're going to work with the border, of course, ensuring that we are also participating internationally in the UN.
A minute.
And also work on foreign meetings as well.
Yes, right. We will now be moving to the Social Democrat representative. You may start now.
It's hilarious that the Green Party's preaching about borders with the UK and all that, when actually they're priding themselves off of supporting a nation that slaughtered our defence forces in a war, basically a little over a year ago. But in terms of our policies, we would first of all work to amend the Ministers Act to establish a Department of State for the North of Ireland, which would be under the Department of Foreign Affairs. The Department of State would also be responsible for spearheading and finalising reconciliation efforts. It would also be tasked with developing proper and adequate border laws, which both sides can actually respect and agree to. And we would do so for a summit with our counterparts in the North within our first 2 weeks of office. We'd also under this department, re-establish the North and South Council, which would be responsible for consistent dialogue with authorities on each side of the border, and also introduce legislation to authorise a cross-border emergency response agreement, where authorities from both sides will be allowed to cross the border to assist each other with any situations that might be ongoing on one side of the border for a limited time frame, and with authorisation from the appropriate government reps.
We will now move to the debate stage. You may each attack and defend your policies again. Yeah, just go ahead. I will start the timer now.
No, but like I said, the Green Party are talking about us opposing Gibraltar and all that, and rightfully so, because they are the ones who incited a war with us a little over a year ago, and they're now saying that we're in the wrong for doing that. We're this whole thing. They're priding themselves off is actually coming back to bite them in the ass. That's all I can say.
Well, I could raise the fact that I mean, Fianna Fáil and I would say Green Party as well, acting like today the memory has been reset. Apparently, we're all goldfish. Nothing happened in the past. Today is a new day. Don't ignore all the past failures and the destruction we've caused in government. Nothing has happened, guys. We're just a new party. That's basically the outlook that they are trying to trick us and deceive us into. They have been in government. They have led this disaster, and nothing has been done in over a month, except for unraveling and dismantling our system. That's all there is to say.
All right, if there's no further debate here, we will be moving to the next question, which would be, how will you keep Ireland's global position as a permanent five-nation secure? We will start with the Social Democrats representative. Your minute starts now.
Well, the incumbent parties have basically failed in regards to the safeguarding of our position on the permanent five. And with 4 out of our 7 proposed cabinet members having served for Ireland on the international stage, we're essentially as ready as ever to take on the task that's ahead of us. First of all, we spearhead the reintroduction of the non-aligned leaders movement to give typically outcasted nations a voice on the international stage, and as such, projecting the international Celtic voice to fellow member states of the United Nations. And this would also be done through the signing of a mutual agreement between fellow nations, committing ourselves to mutual support and recognition, etc.
Thank you. We will be moving to the Green Party representative. Your minute starts now.
What we need is activity. We need activity and we need growth. What we have seen is we've seen other nations in the United Nations gain more support and more activity. We need to utilize mechanisms that they use to further boost Ireland's position. We can't continue to back and forth about my party's activity. What we need to look about is building cohesion within all parties in the Dáil to actually solidify a plan that secures Ireland's position, but also it secures Ireland's commitment to the United Nations. But I don't know what was going on, but I did receive, there was something going on with some European Union. I was briefed by some member, but I think this would be a great opportunity for Ireland to participate in, especially with our current activity rates, which are low.
Right,
Low
that's your minute
for a while.
up. We will be moving to the Labour Party representative. Your minute starts now.
Thank you. Being on a Security Council is, of course, an immense privilege, even more so being on a Permanent 5, which is, of course, very much worth defending. Naturally, when you are in a position like this, people are going to have the ambition and the desire to take that away from us and take it for themselves. Not really sure what else we're going to do other than taking stances and forging alliances with other people on the Security Council, and partake in as many international partnerships as possible. That surely would ensure that we have at least some guarantee that we stay there, notwithstanding the fact that we're fighting for it, irregardless of that fact. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
Thank you for that. As we're done with each individual answer, we will once again move to the debate stage. You get to attack each other's policies. Once again, this feels very repeated. I'm sorry if this is boring, but right, yeah, just start debating if you wish.
Well, I would say I think being, of course, Security Council is great and all, but I think the real international cooperation lies in nations themselves and not particularly the UN. We need to work more with nations, not only in the international organization, and that in turn would ensure our place in the Security Council. Making sure we are respected internationally goes more than just participating in the international organization itself.
Okay. I would actually just want to note something here. I've just been given something from an anonymous source, which basically tells me that the Green Party leader, no, sorry, not the Green Party leader, I apologise, the Labour leader, basically put in the UN server, when are you guys getting rid of the Island P5? So
Oh my God! No! This man is like a plum. He's attacking the tomato over here, and as the apple, I'm going to tell him he's rotten to the core because he's had weeks. And do you know where that brief is probably from? His leader. His leader wants to undermine all the other party leaders. This is what I'm saying. We need to fight for something, not against something. So let's fight to keep, the Social Democrats out of government if their leader is just going to plague the minds of these DEI hires. That's what we need to do.
I also want to make sure. No, I'm not really sure if the literary skill is up to date here, but it's not an well, unambiguously, it doesn't really tell you that, oh, we want you removed. It is an open question before, like when will you guys even try to remove it? Because there was a discussion about it ongoing. So it's not that the Labour leader was looking for us to be removed from the permanent five. It was the fact that she wanted to know what their plans were and when it was going to happen. I mean, it's not that hard to decipher from the message itself. I've seen it.
All right, thank you. I will end this debate before it derails too much. And we will be moving to our next section, actually, which would be the defense forces. We only have one question here, which would be, seeing as the new border game with the UK has been released and the defense forces are still slacking in activity, what will you do to fix this issue? We will be starting with the Labour Party representative. You may start now.
As for the Irish Defence Forces lacking, I'm not really sure if that's a proper description of our armed forces. I think it's the fact that there are not enough people volunteering to be leaders in the defense forces, and we don't have enough people who want to participate. That is purely because there is no incentive of joining. When the border is out, now when there is a reason to join the Irish Defence Forces, we will see an increase of people joining that. I remember me, I think it's 4 years ago now when I first joined this. I joined the IDF because there was an inspection. Like we got to see activity. We got to see that the fact that the IDF exists, and that is enough for people to join. Just seeing that there's getting an incentive to join is enough. There's not really. I don't think mere politicians should go in there and micromanage the fact that the structure of the defense forces. That is a very inappropriate thing
Thank
to do,
you.
in my
That's
opinion.
your minute up, unfortunately. We will be moving to the representative of the Social Democrats. You may start now.
Thank you very much. Well, essentially, hang on. I apologize. Oh my god, my mic. Can you repeat that question, because it was my disc was playing up.
Yes, the question was, seeing as the new UK, the border game with the UK has been released, the defense forces are still slacking in activity, and what will you do to fix this issue? You can start now.
Well, with the defense forces, the release of the border game should be essentially utilized as a tool to buffen up and reintroduce consistent activity. First things first, we would undergo I wouldn't say the biggest legislative comeback, but I'd say it'd be bigger than recent times. Probably which they've seen in recent months. We'd also reintroduce very important legislation such as border laws and regulations and laws banning guns, which Fianna Fáil repealed. This is a critical step, as with no laws to enforce, they cannot really truly do their job. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and we will continue on with the Green Party representative. You can start now.
Right, thank you. So, what we need in our IDF, we need proper leadership. You know, you've got Oscar O'Sullivan, he's not a proper leader. We need someone leading. We need to ensure that we have a really specific recruitment scheme, one that actually brings people together. But we also need to train these individuals. Trainings are really important. As if the IDF is dormant, you know, it is dormant, and people will see soldiers on the streets and say want to join. It's not a way to get people into the IDF. It's lazy of Labour to say that. And I think, you know, you actually have to work to get people in. You know, we are committed to that. And I think it's crazy how they've been attacking me recently with these questions about recruitment. But now they're all automatically saying the same thing. You know, Tweedledee over there says one thing about recruitment. Now the other Tweedledee.
Thank you. That's your minute up. We will now move to the debate stage. You can just continue on debating.
What a load of tripe and nonsense as usual. A load of tripe and nonsense as usual from the most talentless person here. You've already made it. We already made a point about the current system. You've basically dismantled it all. And now you seek to attack us because we want to restore the autonomy and independence of people, the employers and employees. Like, I don't really understand your position. We're politicians. I don't see you sitting there on the front lines doing all the work. I don't think you should be involved in the IDF personally telling them what to do. They need to work out these challenges themselves, and they can do that when they can show incentives and show that they actually operate, not by us just going in there and telling them what to do and ordering them around as if we're military commissioned officers. This is a ridiculous point from you in particular.
It's like being shouted at by a tomato. I don't know what he actually says, but he's not actually talking any sense. So my question is towards Epic Noah, and I would like to ask Epic Noah, why do you want to stop people from owning guns? Are you against our individual freedoms? As the conflict with Britain was 3 years ago, and you actually stated that you loved nationalism. So are you going to just let him sit there and rot?
I don't think this is about defense policy.
That's what I was going to say.
I would like to ask you and talk about your policies instead of.
He claimed that he stopped people from having guns. So I'm going to ask again. Why do you want to stop people from owning guns? Are you against our individual freedoms? No, you see, that's what I thought. People deserve the freedom to have whatever they like, and he's the limitation. He'll stop that. He's going to destroy freedom in Ireland, and he's not right for any position.
Funnily enough, you supported legislation which repealed legislation banning guns. I wouldn't walk if I were you.
Do you have the proof that I voted for that? Sorry. Do you actually have the proof that I voted against that specific bill? Because I have no recollection of that bill, I'm afraid.
I'm sure we could go back into the records and see.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny because you partnered with the party who proposed to repeal it. So even if you didn't vote for it.
Yeah. We will be moving on now. This debate wasn't really constructive, as you could see. Anyhow, next question, which would be, right, we're moving to party-specific questions now. I shall maybe explain those. Basically, each of you will get a question regarding your party, and yeah, you need to basically just respond to that. I think it would be a good idea to let you to have a debate after each question here, due to it being party specific and not policy specific. So yeah, we will just work this out. So we will start with the Greens here. Our question for you is: considering the behavior of some of your TDs last term, how do you think you can improve the standards of the Dáil in the next term? You have 60 seconds to respond. You may start now.
Well, some of the things that my TDs did was not actually in violation of any standing order. I think one of my TDs actually got removed for staring at a picture. I think it was the woke leadership within the Dáil, and that came from a Labour member was so-called advised from the clerks to remove a TD that was embarrassed of something that he had said and walked out of the chamber to hide the bubble, and he was actually ejected. But I think standards within the Dáil I think they're doing pretty well. However, it's chaos when the leader of the opposition starts motioning 2 to 3 times per recession. The other day he wanted to censor me for saying that I would support Gibraltar to join the United Nations.
The governments have 12 ejections this term, so why are you talking?
Honestly, that is,
Please don't interrupt each other, but your minute was over anyway, so yeah, just go on debating now.
Oh, let him lie.
Oh,
Okay, then. We will move to the question for the Labour Party. How do you respond to accusations of importation of voters and members to your party? You
I
may
mean,
start now.
thank you. If you look at the all the pollings, I mean, it's different numbers for the Labour Party in every single question. I don't really think there's a importation. If so, we would be leading in every single sector there. So I don't really think that's true. And even if we were introducing new members into this community, why is that a bad thing? We close immigration to make sure that it doesn't happen. But why are we like looking down upon new members joining? And why would that, in particular, just point to Labour being inviting people here? Why is that a bad thing? Can people not join this community without being like labeled as an import? I mean, I joined this community out of my own free will, and I'm here on behalf of Labour on my own free will. And I think those who vote for Labour are doing that on their own free will and because they support our policies. So that is my answer to your puny question.
Thank you. We will be now moving to the one second, I need to do something.
I'll quickly take over, considering I do have the question here. Oh, we don't actually have a question for them. Okay, I will quickly... Give us just a moment.
can we debate now then? Please.
So how are you doing, Green Party rep?
You know, I'm not a big fan of you, Tweedledum.
Wow, it's very rude.
Wow, that's just rude.
You know, as I remember,
My
I did.
former leader made a point about toxicity in politics. I think
Well,
I think you're the the witch of the swamp here in terms of being a toxic person. So I'm not really sure.
You know, you talk too much. We don't actually know what you're saying, but you know,
Don't throw potions at me. Don't
No.
fucking give me a curse.
you're
Please leave me
literally
alone.
the Social Democrats, just in a
Right,
different
we
font.
have a question. We have a question for the Social Democrats here. I'll read it out for Victoria. She doesn't seem to be here. Considering the rapid change of leadership, with both being cited as inactive and old, why should we believe you are a new party? This is in response to Valorist and Brian O'Kearney.
Look, we've done this before. Oscar's he's served in every part of the group, whether it be civil service or whatnot, and he has no affiliation with either of the two former leaders. So we can talk about what they've done before, but at the end of the day, the Social Democrats are renewed. They have a renewed vision for Ireland, and I'll repeat again, Oscar has no affiliation with any of the two former leaders. So I don't know why this question is being asked when, quite frankly, he's made it clear that he has no affiliation and that we actually want to work for Ireland. So I don't know why this is being asked, but yeah, it is what it is.
Right, thank you. We can now move to a general debate kind of style, where you can just attack each other on like party level. You will get some time for that. Yeah, 5 minutes should be about right for that. I will interrupt when you don't seem to be behaving or getting off topic here. Yeah, just go ahead.
I had a question for the Green Party. It's not really an insult, I would say. It's the Public Servant Protection Bill introduced by your deputy. Did you have a look at this bill, and did you say it was a good bill?
So I actually told my deputy to write a bill that she felt would be more meaningful. I did have a look at the bill, but she had already submitted it, and I did not want to put any pressure or discredit the work she has done.
Mm.
Of course,
That's why you all voted for it as well.
I think it showed that I wanted to show that she cared. What my 2/3 of my
She
TD
cared.
she cared. 2/3 of my TDs are new to the community. They are all they are excited to get involved into politics, and what my deputy did was quite brave. But I think in terms of new people in the door, the Green Party is the best party for new people. As you know, we've got at least 6 TDs who are new, and they've done an excellent job. They have learnt the system, and they are ready to,
And doing conga lines in the doll and proposing legislation that doesn't really follow the format. Is that the vibe that I'm getting for your new deputies there?
Well, you claim you want fresh faces, but it's just the same old, woke.
Fresh faces, and we give them the resources to actually
please,
teach them how the doll works.
no. Please
Look at the
name one of your
contrary
new
to you.
TDs.
They propose
No,
it,
no, no,
and
no.
and then they go to you. That should
Please
just tell you enough.
Please name one of your new TDs.
Even knowing that it is a wrong
You're
bill,
wrong.
you voted in. You voted in with a super majority, and it gets it's like it gets absolutely destroyed by the president once it comes to this table. I mean, do you guys even try to put any sort of thought into any of your legislation that you propose, or like you say it's a party of new people and new members? Why are you not teaching any of them how this works when you yourself you are in the second highest office, public office in the government, and you can't even do the most basic thing of teaching your deputies how the doll works? Can you explain that to me?
You're actually wrong, because I have taught my TDs how to behave, how to propose bills.
So why
I
do you
mean,
have
the
12
president's
this
No, one
the
of my
president's bin is very high right now, filled with the bill proposals of your party. I mean, I would not speak if I were you.
one of our bills, the prisons bill, was a really good bill, but it did get referred to the Supreme Court, and we accepted that. Maybe it was not, the right thing to do, but we did it as we believed, and we were elected. We had the mandate to lead, and that's why we formed a coalition with Fianna Fáil, as we had a stronger majority and a stronger mandate than all the other parties combined. But I think what I'm proud to say as a party leader is that
This is not a answer
You
to
had
the
a Green
question, by the way.
Party T-shirt at the start of the term, and then once
did.
that day
She did.
resigned, you
Well,
sold out, so then you could stay in power.
Sorry, you're reading Oscar O'Sullivan's script, but what I would say about Niamh is she's gone. She's gone. You've got what you wanted.
Talking about scripts,
Gone.
this is funny.
No, she's gone. She's gone. You've got what you wanted. She's gone. But she will remain in our hearts. Unlike the other parties, I'm not ashamed of the leader that I followed. The 2 great Green leaders, Jessie and Niamh, are great people. Both great Taoiseachs, and what we need.
So I'm just asking, as you're a satellite party of Fianna Fáil, what is your
Here,
policy in
no,
terms
honestly,
of
he doesn't even know
in
what.
terms of cooperating with other parties? Is that the only option you're going for, Fianna Fáil? I
Sorry,
mean, you've sold yourself. You basically sold
No, that
yourself
is
and the reputation and your party. Yes, you have. You sold yourself and the reputation of your party by going into this coalition of chaos. That's the only way to sum it up. The coalition of chaos, proposing the worst bills in this community's history, all getting thrown out, all getting referred to the Supreme Court. I mean, you might as well not propose anything at this point.
Well, I won't be lectured from the party that, pulled out of the coalition, because, Niamh consulted Chris on Gigham, and, he actually agreed.
Because we have dignity. We have our stances, and we can stand against stuff. We are not here for power.
No. He agreed with her, and so did Rachel, and then they flip-flopped, and that's when they pulled out of the coalition. They're just too afraid to admit the truth. Anytime something goes wrong for Labour, say policy change, they flip-flop on their stance. But the Social Democrats try to hide the fact that Brian brought them into government after the Green Party left. They were in government recently, within the last 6 months. It's just crazy that they talk about not being in government. But also Labour, business, when they ran business, there was no business. Business was not
5 months
regulated.
ago.
No, even when the duel was dissolved, more businesses were registered under dissolvement than the Labour Party. So, what I would say to the Labour Party is, you need to simmer down. You need to actually sort out the real
You are
issue.
currently
Right, let's
overseeing
be
the
clear about
graveyard
something,
of
right?
business
I
right now.
wanna get something
Graveyard of
clear.
corporations.
Okay,
and businesses.
thank you.
This
This is
growing
the
under us.
main debate stage over. We will now be moving on to our lovely viewer questions, which I have been looking forward to this entire time.
Okay.
We will start with a cute quickfire one where you will have to answer in about 1 or 2 sentences. With the question for this being, what is your plan to work with the United Kingdom on the international stage? We will start with the Labour Party leader. No, not leader. Representative. Sorry.
Foreshadowing there, Freudian slip. No, internationally, I mean, the United Kingdom is our neighbor. There's not a lot to say. I mean, we work together with them, but at no point should we at all forget the fact that they were the ones who slaughtered our troops. They were the ones who held us under a tight grip as the Irish Free State, not in real life, but in this community. Actually, they had British governors and they governed this community against the will of the people here. So naturally, we have a stance against them. But we will work with them productively. But at the same time, we're obviously not going to sell our sovereignty that we have worked so very hard to ensure this entire time. So we're going to work with them. We're going to make sure the border actually goes together. We're going to cooperate on those issues. But as far as that goes, we're not going to buddy up with our former colonizer.
Thank you. Right, that was more than 1 or 2 sentences, but fine. We will now move to the Green Party leader.
Sorry.
Go
My
ahead.
bad.
Well, these candidates here, they haven't got they need to understand that we need.
I want a direct answer, not slagging other candidates, please.
Fine, strong communication, that's what we need. We need to actually build a better relationship, and that starts within the Foreign Office. We need to have close relations with the ministers there, and actually, build something that can be a sort of friendly relationship.
All right, thank you. Moving to the Social Democrat representative. Go ahead.
The way we're going to do it is, well, as I mentioned earlier in this debate, first of all, we'd form the Department of North of Ireland, and then we'd also be willing to host them for a summit. We'd essentially be committed to working with them, but we're also going to, where necessary, stand up to British imperialism. That's all. Thank you.
All right, that worked out wonderfully. The next question would be for the Green Party leader. Oh, right.
That sounds lovely.
Okay, I don't think she's going to ask a
What
question.
a great
Never mind.
question. What a great question.
Go to the one you've been given, Victoria.
Wait, what? I thought, okay, right. Yeah, right. I thought we're doing Leah's one after that. Anyways, what will the Green Party do for the... Yeah, what will they do for the Football Association of Ireland? And what will they do about their largest funding, so also known as football? You can answer.
So I was actually proud to attend the last football game. I met the Prime Minister. I sat with him and I watched the football game as he lost. That was a great victory. But we need to organise. They need to organise more events like that, specifically with other nations. It would actually be really good. I'm sure any other party here would love to go. I did see the Social Democrat leader attend, but I think all parties here have a common understanding that we need more. We need more events like this, as it just shows how unified and strong we can all come together if we attend these games and show our support for Ireland.
Thank you. We will be moving to the next question now. This person wanted, yeah, you can go ahead.
Hey. What are your plans for the great people in Northern Ireland and assisting them in their journey? Alright, and are you going to be endorsing any candidates in the recent mayoral election for Middletown? That's what I have to ask me. Thank you. Keep it up, go Northern Ireland.
Are you guys stunned or something?
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. The Green Party leader can start.
Well, I definitely won't be endorsing Leah for mayor, if she would only bring instability. But I think Northern Ireland has a lot of potential, but we need the right candidate for mayor, and I don't think that's her. Maybe we would have a much better candidate who wasn't known for, let's say, leading this certain agency and, making everything, really inactive, really delayed when, there's a better candidate out there. You could probably pick one off the streets and she'd probably be a better candidate than Leah. I don't really agree with Leah's politics. I'm surprised she's even the proposed communities minister. She actually divides communities. She doesn't actually bring them together. Maybe she should actually learn from what her party so-called says and actually follows what the party leader actually states.
Thank you. We will be moving to the Social Democrats representative. You can answer.
To put it straight, as I mentioned earlier, when asked about this before, we'd formed the Department of State for the North of Ireland and formed the North and South Council to develop border laws and things that we need to just keep the peace between both sides of the border. Thank you.
And lastly, the Labour Party representative. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much, Victoria. The policy of Labour has always been the reunification of Ireland, all 32 counties. I was in this community, I believe, a little over 2 years ago. And back then, we had a united Ireland, proud and free. That should be restored again. I think that was a very great thing. But as for the current situation, I think as for Northern Ireland, I think we should just allow people to participate there freely from our community. Maybe allow parties to set up satellite parties or affiliated parties in Northern Ireland to contest those elections as well. Yes, I believe the current system that we currently have, the status quo, is more than enough. But I would like to see more progressive reform on this topic from the British side.
Can I debate that?
No. We will be. Right,
the real
okay.
that Labour is actually saying that he needs to get his facts right. They're not having a legislative assembly. What they are having is simply a mayor. Maybe if you actually knew what the structure was like.
I didn't say there was a legislative assembly.
You literally. They don't have satellited parties. I'm sorry, that is not how it's worked. It's going to be an.
You can have a party without having a.
I
will just say this to you.
You're not listening. It's the individual candidate that's running for mayor that will work under the governor of Northern Ireland.
Sure,
it is not.
Parties can exist.
No. There is no party system within Northern Ireland right now. Maybe if you actually knew what was going on, maybe if you actually had good relations with the United Kingdom, you would know.
It's not illegal to have a party.
In the Commons, I voted for the. I voted for the mayor of Middleton. I didn't vote for any other political parties within Northern Ireland. That is not what has been happening. Maybe if
That's
you
not what I said, though. You can form
no,
a
you
party
literally
there.
no.
This is
We
completely
can't
look.
have no.
This is just so dumb from you. You are the most reactionary force in Ireland right now. You are the conservative rump of our political system, and here you are attacking me for saying we should have political parties in Northern
But
Ireland,
it's not.
representation
It's not,
across
no,
Right.
the border.
You're
Thank
What are
you.
you
We
talking about?
about.
You are
we
a
have
British fogey. That's what you are.
That is disgusting.
mind shutting out. Right. We have received another viewer question here. First, the Social Democrats. Why have the Social Democrats secretly hired Tom Whitaker to manage their campaign? Yeah, allegedly, yeah. You can answer.
I don't know where this has come from, but quite frankly, it's just flat out not true. Oscar's been coordinating the campaign. He's been working with the party staff and everyone relevant to the campaign to coordinate the campaign, doing the graphics, anything. Just flat out, he's been the one working on the campaign. He's been leading the campaign. Tom's basically no way involved or even in the party service. So I don't know where this question came from, or what source you got, but it's not true.
Thank you for that. While we assess the next question, I have a cute filler question for everyone. We will do this in a rapid fire round again. So, what's everyone's favorite color? Labour, start first.
Red, obviously. Thank you very much.
Green Party.
I think it's going to be green or pink.
Okay, thank you. Social Democrats.
Well, mainly red because of Formula One.
Okay, thank you.
Right, because the viewer who rung this up has been incredibly rude, for a question that Victoria cannot pronounce, we've had Erin asking about the plans for the Irish language. She's asked us to tell everyone that it's Seachtaine na Gá Irish Week. I will try to pronounce that again. Seachtaine na Gá Irish Week. So, I suppose Victoria can ask who's starting first.
Right. Social Democrats can go first. You can.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I did not hear that.
That's so rude. Oh my god.
Okay, I'll just repeat the first part of the question. What are the plans for the Irish language?
Well, two of our proposed cabinet members are, essentially fluent Irish speakers. We love the Irish language, and we will promote it to every level of government. We promote it through government posts, and yeah, that's really it.
Since you're saying you're going to promote it, can you just say a sentence in Irish, please, for us all? Thank you.
Oh my god, who let you up here? Okay, right. Let's not have Facilio on here. We don't want that. The Labour representative may move on.
Well, thank you, as was very well displayed by. Well, is this a quick fire round, or do I have? Can I make a long?
No, you
answer?
have more time. You can.
Well, I just wanted to say, as was shown, we kind of need resources for the Irish language. We need people in the public's, in the media sector who can speak the language and who can help with pronunciation and usage of the language overall. And that is a Labour policy that we should have people available who can help with this. Make sure that if the Irish language is going to be used, that we do it correctly. I'm not really sure how otherwise everyone is expected to suddenly speak Irish, especially for people who are not even from Ireland. There needs to be resources available and people available to help them. I think that's our policy, and that's all.
Thank you. We will have the Green Party representative answer now. You can start.
Right, I think all Gaelic languages should be celebrated, especially Cornish, as well as I am Cornish. However, I do agree with the other parties on governmental posts, and that's why the Green Party last term, or well, this term, actually created spreadsheets for certain events, specifically the Donald Trump inauguration, to actually teach people Irish words who aren't actually Irish. I greatly benefited from this, and it's all about teaching people about Irish politics. I think all aspects of Ireland link to the language. I think it also links to any Gaelic language. But what I would say is that representation matters, and I think if we have more Irish speakers, it would do great things.
Thank you for that. Right, now as it has become quite late, we will have to move on to the closing statements now. Yeah, you will get 60 seconds to read out, or well, phrase your statement. We will start with the Green Party representative. You can go ahead.
For too long, the rules have been written by the people who have the most, not the people who work the most. And, what we've set out today is our commitment to incorporating people into employment. As I'll be honest, Ireland has become idle and lazy and unfit for purpose. What we need is new jobs, we need greater opportunities, and we need better services. This all stems back to recruitment. We are the party that will deliver recruitment. The others will not. Business registration fell under Labour, and it left to us and Fianna Fáil to rebuild our connection to the business sector.
Thank you. We will be moving to the Social Democrats representative. You may start.
Thank you. We've outlined our vision for renewal throughout this debate. If you have questions, refer to myself and Oscar. Please vote Social Democrats on Saturday. Kick out the political duopoly that we've seen throughout the past term that's just happened, and elect a government with a refreshed view on what Ireland can be. Stop the toxicity and division in its tracks. Make sure to read our manifesto. Watch out for further campaign posts, etc. And good night.
Thank you for that. And last but not least, we will be moving to the Labour Party representative. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Victoria. I love you. The Labour Party, as always, at the forefront of progress and progression in terms of legislation and reforming our system of governance alongside labor laws and improving the conditions for working people. You've had a month of poor management, month of running around and playing around in the doll by a completely talentless government. You need labor to restore the basic fundamental democratic systems and ensure that we don't send all our legislative progress straight into the dump because of people unable to write laws or adhere to the basic system, the basic laws and constitutions that we already have in place. That is something that the current government has failed, which we will never fail upon if given the immense privilege of taking public office. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, and as such, the debate has come to an end. I thank you all for coming tonight and answering our questions and debating each other. It was very lovely tonight. I think Dan wishes to say some words as well, so I'll move on to him.
But yes, sorry. Thank you all for tuning in to the debate tonight. Obviously, we'll be holding election night on Sunday. It should hopefully be around 7:50 or 7:30, and I haven't confirmed all the times yet. But hopefully, we see this great attendance from all the parties I'd like to quickly give a huge thanks to Victoria for agreeing to be the moderator. It was only proposed like a day in advance. Thank you to all the party members who have come up here and all the party leaders who have supported, the debate here tonight. I hope to see you all again on Sunday, where there will be the the representatives of each party there as well. Have a wonderful rest of your evenings, and from all of the staff at RTE, have a wonderful night. And I'd also like to quickly mention thank you to Dave for also being the group staff here. Anyway, tune in